okay, so full disclosure, this wasn't the video that I was going to make today. This wasn't the video that I was going to work on today. If you guys remember, today I was going to do 2 shorter videos, one on the Critical Drinker, one on Nerdrotic's take on Fantastic Four. They're going to be 2 quick debunk videos today. But someone on Discord sent me a link to this video specifically, the one we see on the screen here. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with Ranting for Vengeance. He's a teenager and kind of just makes rage bait content, which is why I really haven't watched a lot of his videos. I've seen them in streams with other people. And I personally believe that he believes what he is saying, but I also believe that he knows it's rage bait and that's why he's doing it. So I've avoided his videos for a long time. I don't know if I'll ever do another video about him. I just don't think there's much value in debunking obvious rage bait, but this video in particular needs to be exposed, essentially. It needs to be brought to everyone's attention so you understand what the next generation of chuddery could look like. Because I think this is a good example of how extreme they're going to become if YouTube does not enforce its own terms of service. When we talk about these other channels, they skate terms of service a lot of times. Yeah, they go over the line a little bit here and there, but they try to sort of skate the terms of service so they're not breaking guidelines blatantly. This video is the most racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic review video I have ever seen on YouTube. And we've watched a lot of stuff. We have watched a lot of stuff over here. I watched 2 minutes of this and I was shocked. Now, before we get into the video, I want to point out this video is still available with no restrictions. Okay, I want to show you here. So if we go to his channel here and you scroll over these videos, if a video autoplays, okay, that means it's fully monetized, it has no violations against it, and it has no advertising restrictions on it. And the reason why I know this, and we're going to use my channel as an example, sorry, I had to scroll and find the video, is because this is a little trick that you can use if you're a content creator to know if your video is being restricted or not. So if you hover over a video and it autoplays, that means that it is fully monetized, right? If you don't, if it does this where it doesn't autoplay, like this one is fine, this one's fine, these two have restrictions on them. If it doesn't autoplay, that means YouTube has found that it violates either a terms of service, a community guideline, advertiser guideline, or it's been restricted in monetization, meaning that it's not being promoted. So that's what the difference here. So if you go over here to Ranting for Vengeance channel, you can see this video is still fully monetized. Both of these videos here are fully monetized. It looks like most of his content is still fully monetized. So no restrictions. I think that's really important when we're talking about his content. So this video is called Fantastic Four is Woke and Feminist Trash, which by the way, we know it's not. But this is rage bait. So I want to just, the reason why I kind of buffered the beginning is I wanted to prepare you guys for what we're going to be watching. This is really bad. This content is bad in the sense that you're going to be shocked at what, if you haven't seen this, you're going to be shocked at what he says. And the fact that YouTube has not restricted it is insanity to me. So let's go ahead and get into this video. There's really not a lot to debunk in the first couple minutes. I will interject to sort of call out any sort of bad acting on his part, which is pretty much the entire video. But this is more for I want you guys to see what YouTube is allowing on their platform without restrictions when it's racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic. And I need you guys to understand this is a problem. This is a problem. I think this is a bigger problem than the Chud channels, is this kind of content being allowed with no restrictions whatsoever, meaning anyone of any age, anywhere in the world can click on this and watch it without any restrictions.
So there's some great news. Fantastic Four is not nearly as bad as Superman, but actually it's the most insufferable feminist piece of shit you could ever watch.
I'm gay.
I'll do the usual bullcrap. This isn't rage bait. This isn't me over.
It 100% is rage bait. It's 100% rage bait. Also, I don't think he's trying to be funny. I think he's honestly saying this stuff because he believes in it, which again takes away the angle of, oh, it's just a joke, bro. It's not. There's the humor in this goes beyond acceptable levels of what YouTube would allow on their platform normally, which is why I don't know how it's not restricted.
Reacting. This isn't me lying to you about the movie. In fact, it's the
you are a liar.
opposite, because I'm going to tell you what this movie actually was. And spoiler alert, it's the most fucking feminist movie that Hollywood has ever made. Everything that Vanessa...
It's funny he beeped out fucking, but goes on to be extremely racist, anti-Semitic, and homophobic. That's real interesting.
Kirby was saying before this came out is the truth. She's the leader. She's the front and center.
No, she's not. She is not. That's a lie. Ding, ding, ding. Lie.
But we're going to get onto that in a second. Very quickly, if you do want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing, supporting me on Twitter or Patreon. So last...
Like, just don't. Normally I wouldn't interject this much and say that. Do not support this kind of content at all. Like, I wouldn't even subscribe to this to keep up with it. Like, don't promote this at all. Like I said, this one video will be the one and only time that I talk about this channel. It's just bad. No,
I watched Fantastic Four First Steps the same way I watched Superman, keeping true to the wallet's closed motto. Don't go to the cinema. Do not give these people your money. Fantastic Four First Steps is as insufferable as Superman.
So in other words, watch it pirated online where you get absolutely no social experience with the film. That's one of the other problems is this incel mentality where it's like, I'm going to be as isolated as possible so that I can't enjoy the community around this. That's a big fucking problem right there.
Stand by what I said. Superman was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And I've seen movies from all different time periods, countries, genres, and a lot that you have not even heard of.
I hate to laugh, but it's just the immaturity and insanity of these statements. It really is. That we've never heard of. And this isn't rage bait. This isn't rage bait.
So do not come in here and try to attack me. And Fantastic Four is not nearly as bad. I'll tell you the truth. But there is a lot of wokeness, and that cannot be...
It's not nearly as bad. But this video is going to be like 13 minutes of him shitting on it. Okay.
Annoyed. So anybody in the review saying that it isn't woke, do not believe them. It most certainly is. But I can't really be that serious talking about this movie, because even though it is a disgrace to the original comics, Marvel, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, it's also just hilariously cringe. And I don't really give a rat's ass about spoilers, so if you do, then you're miserable and you shouldn't really be watching this video. And for those of you who are ready to witness what Fantastic Four First Steps really was, I salute you, because sometimes it gets so cringe you feel like you're literally about to die.
So we are almost 2 minutes into this video, and the only thing that he's really said about the movie is that Vanessa Kirby is the lead of the film, which is a lie. Everything else he said is, again, just rage bait. But it gets worse. Let's continue.
Anything from every Marvel movie that was bad. Weird gayness, obnoxious Marvel humor, radical feminism.
Obnoxious Marvel humor, even though that's one of the things that everyone has said isn't present in the movie. It's almost like he didn't watch it. He just watched clips from bad rips online instead of, actually going to the theater. But this is why I don't really react to his content, because he's just a rage baiting teenager channel. I wish I didn't have to do this.
And then there's the thing, which I'll get into a second, or maybe I might not, because that rant is something that a lot of people aren't really ready for. So from the opening scene of this movie, you know what it's going to be. You think it's a superhero movie. It's going to be like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. No, it opens...
Why would we think it's going to be like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man? Why specifically that movie? Such a dumb fucking statement. All right.
It's with Pedro Pascal in a wife beater, walking around looking for his shirt or something. And with the homo Freddie Mercury mustache and the brown skin, he looks like he's...
And the brown skin.
Like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. No, it opens with Pedro Pascal in a wife beater, walking around looking for his shirt or something. And with the homo Freddie Mercury mustache and the brown skin, he looks like he's walking around looking for his taco or his boyfriend. And
so racist and homophobic. All in one. Roll it up. All in one there. Like I said, there's not going to be a lot of logical debunking going on in this video, because he basically just lies about the vast majority of it. And when he's not lying, he's being racist or homophobic. So
all while this is happening, Sue Storm is sitting on the toilet and screaming out like, give me 12 more seconds. And if you thought that she had a bad case of resting bitch face in every single trailer, it just gets worse. I don't know if it's because she's pregnant or something, but she's always in a mood. And Sue Storm is the biggest feminist bitch on the planet. Also,
so misogyny, sexism, racism, homophobia within 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the video. Don't worry though. It actually gets worse than this.
A quick little note about Pedro Pascal in this movie. I don't know what the hell is going on with the continuity, but the guy is changing every single scene. One scene, he looks like he's a 300-pound Mexican gardener who needs to get sent back over the border by ICE.
You're not even from the United States, bro. Imagine simping for ICE because you're rage baiting American viewers. Just imagine you're simping for deportation of the United States when you're not even in the United States to try and get the MAGA viewers to come to your videos. That's so fucking sad.
This movie. I don't know what the hell is going on with the continuity, but the guy is changing every single scene. One scene, he looks like he's a 300-pound Mexican gardener who needs to get sent back over the border by ICE. And the next, he's really skinny and weak looking, like some skeleton who didn't get his taco in time. And speaking of that, another fantastic...
I'm not even going to bring up the fact that he's literally elastic. So changing shape is kind of his thing. Even if that's not the intention in the movie, that's literally an easy way to explain why he looks a little bit different. But there's no point with this guy.
Before are supposed to age when they come back from that first trip. But the footage of the team on the TV before they went up to that first trip is really retarded. So it shows you the footage. Sue has her usual bitch face on. The thing is they're looking all Jewish, and that's his entire...
Looking all Jewish. I just want you to hang on to that one for a second, because the next thing he says is crazy. Let's go back. Hang on to that for a second. Let's move forward with this one.
Come back from that first trip. But the footage of the team on the TV before they went up to that first trip is really retarded. So it shows you the footage. Sue has her usual bitch face on. The thing is they're looking all Jewish, and that's his entire character. That's the rant we're going to get to in a second, or maybe I might not even talk about it, because it's really extreme, but it's the truth. I know.
Looking all Jewish, and so he's going to go into a rant about it. Okay.
The Thing is a Jewish character, and Jack Kirby was Jewish, and it was intended that way, but this movie amps it up to 11.
How do you amp that up to 11? You've established the Jewish heritage of the character and the creation process of the character. How do you amp that up to 11? The character existing as a Jewish character is not amping anything up to 11. It's just what it is. That's just the reality of it.
Scene with The Thing. He has no personality. He has no love interest or friends or anything.
He literally does have a love interest. He literally does. Okay.
Dude is just some one-dimensional character whose entire personality trait is, hey, look, I'm Jewish.
By the way, this concept of one dimension between him and like Jester Bell, stop saying one dimensional when you don't know what it means or you're lying about what it means. It's so annoying to hear the term one dimensional, which literally means defined by one thing, if you're going to be lying about it. He is not just a quote unquote Jewish character. Like, that's a lie. And also it's a misunderstanding. Literally, there's other things about him in the movie that you could talk about.
Walking around a New York neighborhood, and oh wait, look in the background, there's synagogues and Stars of David everywhere.
There absolutely isn't. There isn't. Yes, there are parts of New York where you're going to see that, and that is reflected in the movie in certain instances, but that's not what it... Why am I even entertaining this? Let's continue.
Anyways, we'll move on before that gets a little bit too risky. Johnny shows up in this footage looking really gay with his lipstick and his bleached blonde hair. Flaming gay Johnny Storm is the highlight of this movie. And I mean...
Flaming gay Johnny Storm, who's literally a ladies' man in the movie. All right.
That in every way. The guy is nearly the only guy that you can root for, and then at the same time, he's pulling the most sophisticated, handicapped, retard faces in every single scene. No, that's not an over-exaggeration. It's not a joke. This is the first scene of the movie where they're all sitting down to have family dinner. The Thing tastes some sauce or food he's making like a normal person. Johnny then walks into the room, tries to taste it, and instead shoves his 2 fingers into his mouth.
Nice.
And with the face...
The pedantic complaining that this community does needs to be examined. It needs to be examined and explored for future reference. It really does. You're complaining about the way his face looks in a couple of scenes. I mean, you're talking about being gay. I could say it's really fucking gay to worry about what a man's face looks like. Like, that could be really fucking gay. Like, literally gay.
that he pulls here, God knows what else this guy is putting in his mouth. More on.
Again, and also I want to point out, I get a lot of comments about like, gay people and trans people and drag queens being inappropriate when it comes to the youth. And here we have someone who is literally a teenager doing nothing but talking about how gay characters are and putting things in their mouths. Like, he's doing this. And no one, this isn't a problem for anybody. So it's not that people have an issue with gay people doing gay stuff or talking about gay things. It's that people have an issue when people are doing gay things that aren't being made fun of. So if we were teaching, the youth to make fun of gay people and that gay people were a joke, if that were the education they were getting about the gay community, that would be okay. But if you're teaching them legitimate gay history and things like that, there's something wrong with that. It's the culture of the internet. That's what it is.
Him in a second, but the important part that I was trying to get to is that Pedro Pascal still looks like a 90-year-old taco vendor in this footage. He's supposed to have gray hair
More racism.
when he comes back from the trip. Now he just looks like somebody's great-grandfather. The dude refuses to shave off his little gay mustache for every role. He looks nothing like Reed Richards because Reed Richards is white.
And more racism. More racism.
Hair when he comes back from the trip. Now he just looks like somebody's great-grandfather. The dude refuses to shave off his little gay mustache for every role. He looks nothing like Reed Richards because Reed Richards is white. And he's some Mexican dude or Chilean or whatever the hell. He's brown. That's all you need to know.
Not restricted. YouTube's not enforcing its terms of service on this channel at all. 5 minutes in, and like literally every community guideline rule against bigotry has been broken in this video. Every single one of them. But if I do a video where I mention Melanie Mack and one slur that she's used, that video gets restricted. It's funny how YouTube's system comes after, because Melanie Mack's videos are still not they're still unrestricted. So she gets to do it because she's talking negatively about gay people. But when a gay person talks about it and tries to promote positive stuff in response to those kinds of slurs and things like that, that video gets restricted. And then you have a channel like this where it's back to like shitting on brown people, shitting on gay people, shitting on Jewish people, and this one is allowed with no issues. But I can almost guarantee that YouTube's going to come through and restrict my video of me reacting to this content, because that's the way it always goes. These guys get unrestricted videos saying all of this. The minute I do it or someone else reacts to it and tries to correct it, those get shut down. That's YouTube's terms of service in 2025.
And yeah, it would have been a bit more accurate if he shaved his border-hopping face. But still, he doesn't look like Reed Richards. I was talking with somebody and they said that David Corn Sweat might have actually been a better Mr. Fantastic. He would have looked a lot more like Reed Richards, and the guy's really nerdy in real life. So
well, Reed Richards isn't just defined by nerdiness. This is why I know you guys are tourists, right? Reed Richards isn't defined by nerdiness. That's not really necessarily a visible character trait. Plus, you don't want characters to just look like someone from the comics because you're not getting the best actor for the role. You're just getting someone who superficially looks like those characters. But I don't even know why I'm bothering to correct that in this video. Clearly this guy doesn't care. Clearly he doesn't care about correcting it. He's just being racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic, sexist. That's all. That's the goal of the video. It is not actually to critique the movie. The goal of the video is just to be a bigot.
he probably would have fitted the role. Instead, we got this homo hombre who's just crying for the entire movie. And I'm not joking. In certain shots, he's really skinny. In other shots, his head is the size of the room. And in other shots, he's wearing eyeliner or something and looking extremely gay. And there's many scenes that are like that throughout the entire movie, where Flaming Johnny Storm and Gager Pascal start hugging each other and grabbing each other by the necks and looking deeply into each other's eyes. I'm just going to put some screenshots up on the screen right now and just some clips so you can...
What is the fascination? Okay, so these guys don't want gay pride to exist, right? And they say, oh, because you're putting it in our face. But then they gay-vestigate everything. They're always homo-vestigating people. I don't get it. I don't get it. I've been making content on YouTube since 2007. I've had various channels over the years. I have done probably less than 10 videos that have talked this much about gay stuff. Like this specifically gay romance and stuff like that. Like I've done less than 10 videos where I've even mentioned it. And it's probably somewhere buried in a live stream or something like that. But when I go to these channels, they're talking about it constantly. Constantly talking about it. I don't understand the fascination with what my community is doing romantically. I don't understand what that fascination is if you guys don't want to see it. If you don't want to see it and you don't understand why gay people have to come out, then stop gay-vestigating straight people. If they're gay, they will eventually tell you. You don't need to gay-vestigate them. It's unnecessary.
And see what I'm talking about.
I take back every single bad thing I've been saying about you. You are going to be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth.
Oh no, two straight guys showing a bit of affection between each other means that they must be gay. This is why this generation is cooked. That's why this generation is cooked. The Andrew Tate shit, the Joe Rogan shit, the Tim Pool shit. It has literally cooked, the Matt Walsh shit has literally cooked this generation's ability to understand the difference between affection between friends and romantic interest between people. It's literally fried their brain on this.
Johnny Storm is so autistic in this movie, it's unbelievable. Okay. I heard some reviewers saying that, I don't know why Joseph Quinn came out and said that he wasn't a womanizer, because in the movie, the biggest plot point, that he is a womanizer, especially for Shala Ball.
Again, people misunderstand womanizer. This is another word and term that gets misunderstood. I'm not correcting him because he doesn't give a fuck, but womanizer means being emotionally manipulative and abusive to women, using them and then discarding them. That is what womanizing is. It's going around from woman to woman to woman without any concern for their feelings and emotionally manipulating them into being with you and then discarding them, which then scars them for life, right? That's what a womanizer is. That is not what Johnny Storm is in this movie. And to be fair, it's not really what Johnny Storm is in general. There have been instances where Johnny Storm has been that extreme, but typically no, he's just a playboy and a ladies' man. Again, these guys are cooked. They don't understand words.
The fake female Silver Surfer bitch. And she's an entirely different
she's
story.
A bitch. She's a bitch now. Okay, cool. What makes her a bitch just because she's a woman? You called her a bitch. You said that Sue's got resting bitch face. It's like the only two women in the movie have to be bitches, right?
Everybody defending the CGI and the casting, just no. Just plain no. The CGI is laughably bad, as you can tell from the trailers. Everybody telling you that this looks amazing is lying. Not to mention that, I'm sorry, Shala.
I want to reiterate, don't get outraged by this. He's clearly doing this to get people outraged. Like, you can correct this kind of stuff without getting outraged. Don't get triggered. Don't fly off the handle. That's literally what he wants from these videos.
You're a little bit too flat for anybody to tell you're even female that far off. That's just me being honest. You could have gotten a hotter actress to come in and play somebody who's going to get womanized.
It's really creepy to watch like a young boy like objectify an older woman like this. It's a little creepy. I'll be honest with you. It's a little weird.
By Johnny Storm. Instead, it's this short-haired bitch who's as flat as a plank of wood. And also, she's extremely annoying. But the weird thing is, after the retarded gay antics of autistic Johnny Storm, the storyline between him and Shala Ball, which is...
How many cuts does this guy do in videos? As I'm watching this, I realize like every couple of sentences is a cut. A hard cut. Like, is he reading from a teleprompter and he's trying to cut out like the pauses in between that? I feel like that might be what's going on. I wasn't really paying too much attention to it, but I'm always fascinated with how people cut videos. If I have a cut in my video, it's usually because there was a issue with the recording, or there's a pause there, or I had to look something up for to make sure I was checking myself and my information. But then these people with these over-edited videos where there's a cut like every 10 seconds, typically they're doing it because they're just kind of piecing together the best insults they can in their videos. I much prefer live streaming and just doing everything off the cuff. I do have notes every now and again, obviously, if there's some things that I need to talk about, but I typically try not to do the script stuff. It feels very wooden, and I'm getting that vibe from this.
Isn't really a character. That storyline is the only redeeming quality in the entire movie, but it usually gets ruined by jokes or just plain bad writing, so it's not really worth mentioning. So far I covered Sue's bitch face.
So yeah, the cuts are annoying. Did you see that? There was like 4 cuts in like 5 seconds. It's pretty intense.
This Jewish thing, eyeliner Mexican Pedro Pascal, who looks nothing like Reed, and then the freaky gay Johnny Storm, who had his fingers and everything else in his mouth. But now we're going to get on to some other stuff, like the setting that everybody was saying worked so well and how awesome it was. I don't know where the hell we are. This movie is extremely inconsistent. With
You're in a 1960s New York from another Earth, with different history and different timeline. Pretty obvious, right?
Continuity of the actors with the powers of the Fantastic Four, which by God is the crescendo of the cringe. But we'll get to that. The setting is what I'm talking about now, because what the hell is going on? It's some retro-futuristic 60s world.
Right, which is kind of the point, right? I mean, that's the vibe of the Fantastic Four comics, was like this high technology existing in a 1960s New York. I mean, what do you want? That's from the comics.
People are in like Blade Runner flying cars. It's all kind of jumbled, and we never really get an
Yeah, the Fantastic Four had a flying car. That's fidelity from the comic books.
explanation to where the hell we are. And speaking of not knowing where you are, it doesn't really help when every single person in New York City is not white. There's brown people, there's black people who get a big load of screen time. I don't know how the hell there was that many in New York at this time period.
I mean, bro, you're not even from New York, man. Why do you care? You're getting angry about something that literally has nothing to do with you in this regard. First of all, who cares if we see more brown people in scenes in a fictional New York City? It doesn't reflect the whiteness that you want to see. It doesn't affect you at all, actually. That's the thing about the racist stuff that I see here on YouTube is most of the time, it's just complaints about things that have nothing to do with any of these people. They're not affected by it at all. Like when I would watch videos where people would complain about pride parades, I'm like, you're not even going to them. You're not going to them. You're not taking your family anywhere near them. You're not even interacting with gay people like that. But you have a problem with pride parades. Why do you have a problem with something that literally has no impact on your life? It's almost like you want to feel like a victim of something because you've never faced any sort of oppression at all. You don't know what it feels like, so you project that onto other things. You're like, oh no, these gay people existing are oppressing me. Because you can't even for a second understand what it would be like to be in a position to be there in that moment. To be someone from another community. You can't understand that at all. So this whole racist thing about like New York showing too many brown and black people from somebody who I don't think has ever stepped foot in New York City. Because you don't think there's enough white people? That's just crazy. Like, I don't even know. What are we talking about, fam?
Maybe that's why they needed an alternate universe. But there's 10 times too much wokeness and diversity. That's what this is. We're getting shown little black kids every single second, like we're in Africa. And then the next second, we're getting a scene with the Thing where he's walking into his local...
Like we're in Africa. I told y'all. I told you. Again, this is the most racist video that I can remember seeing in recent times. On YouTube. The most racist one.
Synagogue for some reason, and he's in there for like 10 minutes. Now, I don't know. Comic fans out there try to update me here.
And then the anti-Semitic stuff, like just kind of thrown in there. He's being subtle about it, but it's there. That's the most subtle bigotry. But it's there. He was in the synagogue for 10 minutes for no reason. Who gives a fuck?
And I mean real comic fans who read the original Stan Lee, Jack Kirby stuff. Was the Thing's ethnicity or religion?
Hold on for a second. So you're complaining about things like flying cars and retrofuturism, but then you're trying to like talk about Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's original intention. I had to run that back. Let's hear this again.
Synagogue for some reason, and he's in there for like 10 minutes. Now, I don't know. Comic fans out there try to update me here. And I mean real comic fans who read the original Stan Lee, Jack Kirby stuff. Was the Thing's ethnicity or religion as prevalent in the original comics as it was here? And people are saying that Pedro Pascal acted...
I'm not even going to justify that with a response, to be honest, because if you're making this video and you're trying to say that Jack Kirby and Stan Lee or whatever be rolling over in their graves because of this movie, and then you don't even know about something like that when it comes to the Thing, to Ben Grimm's storyline, then you have no reason to be making this video. There's no reason. I mean, if there was ever a moment in this video where it's like, bro, just shut the fuck up. That's the moment. That's the moment. Like, if you don't know that, what the fuck are you on about?
Ass off, and he most definitely is the leader of the team, which is just not true. Acting your ass off equates to crying over a baby that should not be in this retarded movie. Just like Superman, we came in 2 movies.
So now you have an issue with Franklin Richards, one of the most iconic babies and iconic characters when it comes to Fantastic Four. You have an issue with that. I mean, you said it's not rage bait, but everything you're doing in this video is telling me it's rage bait.
He's too late. And now onto the final nail in the coffin. There's probably more shit I could call out, but this movie, this is the end of it right here when this scene happened. I'm talking about Sue Storm, which at the start of the movie can go invisible and use a small bit of telekinesis. And by the end of the movie...
She doesn't have telekinesis. Sue Storm doesn't have telekinesis. Sue Storm can manipulate invisible fields. Yeah, it looks like telekinesis to someone that doesn't know anything about Sue Storm. So I can understand your confusion because you are a tourist. You're a tourist in here masquerading and pretending to be a fan of the Fantastic Four in order to rage bait people, acting like you know what you're talking about. The fact that you said that, again, second big red flag, outside of all the bigotry we've had to deal with, second big red flag. Asking people about Ben Grimm being Jewish and then talking about Sue Storm's telekinesis is crazy. It's crazy.
She's Luke Skywalker. That's not a lie. In this obnoxious scene where she has to give birth and is screaming with her bitch plastic surgery face, Johnny tries to come over and help her out, and she just ends up force choking him like Darth Vader. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never seen Invisible Woman or Invisible Girl or whatever the hell she's called do that, ever.
I mean, do I need to even justify responding to that one? Comic book fans, this is a charlatan. This is someone who doesn't really give a fuck about comic books. And it's becoming more and more obvious in this video.
And that was just the tip of the iceberg, because at the end of the movie, Galactus comes to Earth. And yeah, Galactus isn't that bad in this movie. Galactus and the parts with Johnny Storm where he doesn't act gay and retarded are the only good things in the movie. And it's not even that good. If you want what Galactus does in this movie, watch Godzilla -1 or any Godzilla movie for that matter. And they have to devise a big Marvel humor plan to take down Galactus. And all of it goes to crap. And you know what it results in? It results in Sue Storm standing in the middle of the street and using the Force on Galactus. And
using her actual comic book powers. I guess you knew that she was called Invisible Woman, or as you said, Invisible Girl, whatever. And that's what you thought she could do because you don't actually read comic books. This is someone that went on ChatGPT, or, I mean, maybe you didn't even do that much, and decided to make this video.
No, not a small little push. With her feminist bitch face, she can just scream at Galactus and literally push the guy over. Yeah, we're talking about Galactus here, the guy who eats planets. Yes.
Yeah, the Fantastic Four notoriously beats Galactus a lot. They defeat him all the time in the comic books. So I don't see what the problem is.
Some ugly feminist can stand in the middle of the road and take him down using her mind power. Somebody correct me in the comments or whatever. I don't really care if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure, and I don't think that Sue Storm should...
I mean, if this person doesn't care they're wrong, then why are people even subscribed to this channel? It legitimately... And I know I'm asking, knowing facetiously that this is not, I'm not going to get a real answer to this one, but if you're watching someone that is supposed to be reviewing comic book movies and telling you the truth about the comic book movies in a way that other people won't tell you, like, for example, someone like myself that's been reading comics since the 70s, I'm the one that you're not supposed to be listening to, but you're supposed to be listening to him because he's an expert and knows if something is bad that's being adapted from comic books, even though he's admitting here he doesn't care if he's wrong and he doesn't know anything about the characters themselves. So why would you even watch this content unironically? Like, why?
Ever do this? What the hell is the scale of your powers? How can you knock over Galactus with one hit? Screw everybody else in the entire Marvel universe and DC universe. Just drop this feminist down into the middle of it and she'll solve any problem. Endgame, she could have used the Force and blown away Thanos and gotten the Infinity Gauntlet. She could probably kick Superman's ass. Well, that's not really a big feat nowadays because any dog can just do that. She could probably kick Batman's ass and do the same to Daredevil and Wolverine and maybe even...
I mean, yeah, Sue Storm is probably more powerful than those characters based on just her power set alone. But you wouldn't know that because you're just saying that because you're trying to push a anti-woman narrative. So there's that.
Take on Galactus. Oh wait, she just did. And literally in the blink of an eye just took down Galactus like it was nothing. And then she passes out and dies. And everybody is crying and it's this big emotional scene. And hold up, what the fuck is Johnny Storm doing with his face? If your wife just died beating Galactus, the god, the planet-eating monster, and you turned around and you just saw some dude pulling this face, I don't know, you throw the hardest punch in your entire life. What are you doing? Go back to the Pride Parade. Your sister just died here and you look like, I don't know, you're ready to go into a gay bar. But the cringe baby that should not be in the movie, little Franklin, comes over and brings her back to life. Why the hell is this baby in the movie?
All right, I think we've exhausted this. I don't even want to watch the last 3 minutes of it. I mean, you guys kind of get the idea of what this is. The rage baiting on YouTube is out of control. It's out of control. And like I said, this could possibly be what the next generation of rage baiting looks like on YouTube. And YouTube is doing nothing to deal with it. They're doing nothing. They're coming over to channels like mine and restricting my content for violating advertising guidelines. But then content like this is left up totally unrestricted. Anyway, I apologize for bringing this one to you. It wasn't as funny as I wanted it to be because I wanted to cover, again, Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker, but we'll do those towards the end of this week as we get through the week. This one I needed to talk about because it really was absolutely shocking to me. There you go.